up? Pittsburgh Weiss Schwarz back again with part 2 of the Dragonmaid set review. Joined today with Carmen, as usual, and very special guests, Ollie and Paru.
Hi.
Hello.
Guys.
Hey.
Oh no.
What the fuck?
I hit the key to add a slide somehow.
Okay. Oh, whoops.
Well, it doesn't matter. We're good.
Well, anyway, let's jump right into it, shall we? Let's delve into yellow here. We got this first Kobayashi Brainstormer. What is this one? This is a salvage brainstorm. Also, if you have another Toru Wings of Love, which is this 2-1, everybody else gets plus 1,000 power on your field, and then if you have 4 more other characters, even a dragon, you can rest this to draw discard.
This is
pretty loaded for a brainstormer
as a standalone.
This is also a resonate target for a few cards.
Yeah.
What's the 2-1 Toru do? Is it just like another back row?
Oh, we'll see.
We'll get to it. There's a lot of text.
Well, it's the cover card of the set, so surely it's good.
So that 2-1 does not give any power and is not an assist, so you can think of that 2-1 as effectively having the extra text. So think of that as what is stable to the 2-1, because in the deck that you would play that 2-1, you would never not have this brainstorm in the back row. You would be playing 4 of this brainstorm in the deck that you were playing the 2-1. So you can consider that plus 1,000 power text to be stapled to the 2-1 and not on the brainstorm. So consider the brainstorm to be a self-rest salvage brainstorm that also has a full field tap draw ditch, which is pretty fucking good actually. Like vacuously, this card's pretty fucking good.
Yeah, you could like have the 2-1. The 2-1 doesn't necessarily even need to be in the back row. It looks like you could just have like 2 of these chilling in your back row, filtering you 2 cards every turn.
Well, the 2-1's a back row
2,000
card.
to your field. Also, like extra copies of this later in the game probably don't feel too bad either if you have the condition on field mech. Just another global 1,000 power.
You could attack with a 2-1, but there's another reason you want it in the back row. It has like a soul pump ability.
Yeah, the 2-1 stuff is a back row card.
Alright, we can move on.
Okay.
We got this early play. If you have 4 or more other characters, this gets -1 level in your hand, so 4 or more early play condition. If you have 2 or more other characters, it gets 1,000 power, so it's 10k. And then on play, you can resonate the brainstorm that we just saw. Choose one of the following 2 effects to perform at. If you do not resonate, you do not get either burn 1 or heal 1. This is like the big payoff card for going into this package. Is this early play where you get this like very modular, easily spammable early play? I don't know if I should talk about it now. If I should bring it up now, I think that this card is a trap. But like it.
Oh.
Everybody else sing its praises. Go ahead. I'll come in on the back end.
I want to sing here. I like it. It's pretty good. Yeah, I like the this has to be like your off finisher of choice probably. Like, don't run any like the ones from the trial deck. Just run like 4 copies of this, and then you always get your early play. You can do it every turn, and then the fact that you get to choose to either burn 1, it's like an off finisher, or heal 1 is nice.
Most decks that play it do choose to run 4. So
you get like one point of pressure, no matter how you want to put it, either to the face or to heal yourself. I like it a lot, actually.
What do you have to say, Oliver?
I think early plays that are able to push damage are just really fucking strong, and at baseline, this is still a really easy fulfill condition EP healer. And the only thing that really holds it back is whether or not you play the brainstorm.
I think it's held back by a little bit more.
Like
it is held back by quite a lot.
Probably like a brainstorm you don't mind running 3 or 4 copies of.
I'm gonna go off. I'm gonna go off real quick. So Kobayashi is a set after a lot of testing. This is the big shiny card. The resonate stuff is the big shiny card. As is the case with many of these sets, that people are like, well, like things aren't working out. Maybe it's not that strong. I think people we're always tunneling on the wrong thing. After a lot of testing, I think this card is actually the problem as to why people think Dragonmaid is so much worse than it is. Your turns throughout the game, when you play this card and you play this package, are dramatically so much worse than if you just played the game naturally. And the reason why is that this set is one of the least selective modern sets I have ever played. Your only form of selection is Brainstorm, and then card that requires you to neg 1, as well as like lose a board slot. You do have some cute things you can do to attempt to refill your hand with that card, but they're not guaranteed. We'll talk about that card pretty soon. It's the Sack Salvage Kobayashi for people that already know. There are some things you can do with that card to give yourself selection and maybe recoup some hand with like rest 2 Brainstorms. But the fact that you aren't sculpting with like a selective combo, since the only other selective combo in the set is like not something you'd typically want to run in most other builds, because it's kind of lackluster. You have a lot of trouble playing this card when you're playing with a 6-card hand, because you want to play one of these Brainstorms and then you want to hold one of these Brainstorms. And this Brainstorm never leaves your hand. You can never play it. You can never filter it. You play on -1 hand all game. And I think that's really, really bad for this set in particular. And playing this card and playing towards this card makes every Kobayashi deck feel worse because it is included. And that's my problem with the card. It's not a problem with the card like vacuously. Like, yeah, you look at it like the Resonate, like sure, it doesn't like cost much to you, but like the way the set plays out and the tools the set has, this card is unbelievably frustrating to play. It makes every deck it's in worse for having played it, is like my opinion on it after testing this stuff a lot.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see it be kind of awkward. Like if you really don't have good filtering power, having like a brick stuck in your hand on top of that you're not really allowed to block.
Yeah, you're literally not allowed to get rid of it. Yeah, like you're never allowed to get rid of the card, because otherwise your card does literally nothing. It's not like the one in Dow where you pay a cost, the new one in Dow, where it's exactly the same except you pay a cost to get both abilities, and it always done one. This does literally nothing. It is a brick, which means that after your first Brainstorm's on the board, you run 6 to 7 bricks. Not exactly good for a deck that doesn't sculpt selectively, right? That's like my angle on the card.
It maybe isn't like 6 or 7 bricks in the sense where it's like completely dead in your hand. Because like if you draw if you have 2 of these in your hand, you can like play another one down to give like some extra power to your field. Maybe filter some more. That probably doesn't feel too bad. But it definitely does mean that you have to be running 4 Brainstorms, which is like, at least I know for myself personally, I'm down to like 2 Brainstorms in a lot of decks I play. I'm like a lot lower on Brainstorms than I used to be.
I think the only modern set I'm playing more than like 3 total Brainstorms, and it's usually a 2-1 split, is D-side. And that's because that Brainstorm specifically is broken. It's not very common.
Even though you're like running, even though you don't have great filtering power, though, this 3-2 early play seems like a card that would fit that sort of strategy kind of fine. This is a very versatile card. You're always happy to draw it. It does whatever you need it to do. It can either burn them or it can heal you, and it plays early. So like,
for me, the cost of having a 6-card hand all game was never worth it. It was never worth the benefit, because there's a comparable card with the same early play condition that, if you aren't running this, is equally as easy to play in field. So I've like literally, this card was the break point. I remember when Paru and I were testing on release, and I was like, Paru, you gotta cut the Resonate stuff, and it's instant, right? Like the second you get rid of it, the deck starts to work better. It's just a lot of overhead that I don't think the set can afford to be able to like play this card. But like, it's cute. Like when your games are going well, you won't notice it. We're talking about like, if you're trying to make the most stable version of this deck, where like you play it multiple times, you bring it to locals like multiple weeks in a row, and like you're enjoying it. Like if you play the Resonate stuff, you'll have your hot days, And then your days that maybe aren't so hot to bad, the deck's gonna feel like the worst thing ever. But if you don't play it, like your bad days might be able to become good. Does that make sense? I'm like kind of rambling here, but like it adds a lot of instability.
I got you.
Despite how it reads.
I think it makes a lot of sense. It's an interesting take because the card, at first glance is very flashy, it reads very, very strong, but
I have a whole deck tech
we'll
on that.
To see the rest of the resonant stuff
that you can check out on this very channel.
It's worth it.
There is a whole deck tech on like that thing that you guys can watch after the set review that's out there. See sort of the fruits of the testing labor, but for now I still think the card's like totally fine. It's just not what I choose to play. But let's talk about a much better card actually. Ollie, go ahead.
I got this one. Cool. We got this 3/2 Paru on play heal, and then climax combo on attack. If the choice is in your climax zone, and you have another human or dragon character, wow, what a hard condition. Choose one of the following 2 effects and perform it. You can either burn 1, or you can pay 2, ditch a human or dragon character. If you do, you declare a number, and you deal that much damage to your opponent. This is a really funny card.
It's the meme. Your opponent triggers their last climax, and they have 10 cards in deck.
Yeah.
And you go burn 10, and they die.
I don't think it's actually that. I don't really think that's a meme. I think that's like...
It's definitely a real upside.
Game, but I think we're talking about this like before we started the video. I think it's just, like you said, it's like no downside and just like you can randomly steal a game with this card. Your opponent is winning all game, then they trigger a few too many climaxes, and then you're just like 10, and you get them.
Okay, so like, I'm not saying that this card's bad. I think this card's actually still like pretty good, but like those situations don't happen as much as you would want them to, and even if they did, how is this doing any more than like any other finisher at that point when your opponent triggers other climaxes?
Oh, yeah. At that point in the game, 4 vanilla swings usually seals it anyway, but it's funny.
A lot more reach though. Like if you're really, really far behind, that's like infinite reach. If your opponent ends up in a bad deck state and they accidentally send you to level 3, then it's like.
It is objectively true that no other finisher has this much reach.
Yeah, it is infinite reach. The ceiling is infinite.
You can say 1,000.
The important part of this card is the fact that it is totally modular, and you can always call the number that you want in any situation.
It is. That
is the power of the card.
You don't have to like go all in and like swing for the fences every time.
So you know, like the brain expansion meme, where like it ends with like the universe, right? Or like the brain's getting bigger. Like I think the like base brain take is that this card can swing for 10 when my opponent's out. The galactic brain end like thing is that this card calls any number at any point and will give you the like most scalpel, highest precision finish you possibly can have. Like you got a lot of modulation here, and modulation will always end games, like the way that Weiss Schwarz works.
Typically, I've noticed playing this combo is that like the first like 2 will usually like be just burn 1s, and then the last one you'll burn for whatever number you need to close out the game.
I think the best way to play this.
Ease your way into it, right? Like you go into your attack step, you like you crunch your numbers, right? And you're like, okay, my opponent, I think they have like 3 climaxes in their deck or something, right? And you swing with your first 2 with just the Trouble Girl effect, just to burn 1, right? And if you end up hitting all their climaxes, then you can just count the rest of their deck and just
burn them, yeah.
Just get them.
Yeah.
The best way to play this card is alongside the Icy Tail that also exists, which is not stock costed for its effect. Yeah. Because if you Icy Tail first, or on your second attack or something like that, it gives you information, and it increases the chance of that exact same case we just talked about happening. Like I don't
know if it gives you more information per se, but it definitely lets you move more cards in their deck out of their deck, and the more cards you move out of their deck, you're more likely to catch them with their pants.
Well, say you do it first, right? you mill 4 clean, and they like eat the first swing from the icy tail. Like they mill 4 clean and then eat 3 from the icy tail. You just ripped 7 cards out of their deck, which had some number of climaxes in them from both ends. Well, now you never pay the 2. You play for another turn.
I don't think going from either end matters. I think that's...
No, it doesn't. I'm just saying, it's like you ripped 7 clean cards out of their deck, right? So why would you ever pay to call a higher number when you could take the free burn one, right? It just informs your lines a lot better when you play it with the icy tail.
Yeah, because it lets you get cards out of their deck, which then leaves them more likely to be in a situation where they're actually out everything.
Or out nothing, and you know not to pay, and play for another turn. Because this card's also a healer. Like, the fact that this card heals plays into that this card can also be played conservatively, which is not how most people play it after reading it once. They play it like, unga bunga, I'ma kill you, which is, like, I don't think the right way to look at the card. This is, like, a very high precision, very reserved card that has the other end, right? It's like holding a knife behind its back. That's why her hands are behind her back. She's just gonna kill you. Like
this ain't the real dragon from Shining.
Oh no!
What do you mean this thing called 12 for cheaper than Dragon?
For cheaper, fucking
I do
Shining.
like how it's very cost effective too. Like you can just tap out completely for this. Just spend all your stock, throw 3 of these on the field, and then I think I don't remember who said it. All your Paru said, you know, usually you're burning 1 on the first few attacks. So you swing 2 of them with the burn ones, and that generates you the stock to be able to in the final.
Yeah, if you're just having like the worst game.
The effect, yeah, you can just tap out completely for 3 of these, and then just still have that deal X.
This is one of the first cards they showed off when the set came to Japan or to Japanese.
Well, it set the bar pretty high, huh?
It set the bar a lot higher than they were able to, you know.
Yeah, it's a common theme among Weiss sets, I feel like.
Yeah.
My
it's like, hey, that's pretty good.
I get suckered into buying this set,
my
it's gonna be because of this card and the last card, probably. Like,
or they just love Dragonmaid.
This is definitely like a
card
that I would have a blast playing with.
I might just rebuy it in English.
I mean, yeah, I definitely bought this set for the IP.
Yeah, I bought it for the IP and the manga art because there are no manga art sets in Weiss Schwarz, really. There are a couple manga art cards, but like
it's like Lucky
very
Star
unique.
Is like the only one I know about.
Yeah, like my personal theory on Kobayashi is that it was designed a long time ago and held up in development hell due to like issues with KyoAni or the license, because it's a very notoriously difficult license to get a hand on, like most KyoAni anime and stuff like that. So
KyoAni.
Dude, look.
You've been hanging out with Matt.
Kyoto, like the city.
Yeah, I know. I messed up.
Animation.
But is it? I guess like on a developmental note, I know we're getting like really sidetracked here, but like, what was the anime that got Twitter all pissed off lately? Wasn't it Kobayashi?
Twitter's always angry.
That's such a vague question to ask.
I guess so. All I know is recently Twitter found out about the L word, and everyone started losing their shit when they saw Aruru.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's Dragonmaid. It is what it is.
So hopefully it doesn't get held up again over here because of like.
I doubt it. It's the art for.
Hopefully they don't end up like censoring the art or anything.
There's only like a single card I could see them censoring.
Yeah, I don't.
Already looked at it.
Yeah, I think the set will be fine.
Yeah.
All right, we can move on.
Paru,
this is yours. Yeah, this is the only stock choice.
Placed on stage from hand. You can reveal the top card of your deck. It's level 2 or higher. Put it in your stock. And then when it goes from stage to waiting room, you can pay to search one.
Well, yeah, it's not really a stock charger when you probably play it for the second effect, right?
Yeah. I think it's fine though.
This card's fine. It plays better than it might read, but it's okay. I cut it.
Sorry? You have any like scrying effects to like see the top card?
No.
Nothing that you would want to like dedicate slots to.
Nothing that you'd ever want to play.
That just like goes out.
I think it's a pretty good card, but I wouldn't be surprised if it gets cut from less.
You have an easy time.
It feels really tough to fit this, I bet.
You have a really easy time tri-fielding because, like, actually, your zeros are mostly fine. So even if you whiff this, it's not like the end of the world.
Mm-hmm.
I think B- is really appropriate.
You don't have a lot of other like sculpt from 0 into 1 if you're trying to rip a card out of your deck. But I'd rather play the Drop Searcher over this, I think. The Drop Searcher scales a lot better than this card. Even though this card is pretty scalable.
Has a funny second effect.
Yeah, well, not funny. I think it has a legitimately really good second effect.
I think when you hit the top shape, this card feels fucking insane, but like...
It does feel insane when you hit the top.
It's a very high rolling card, yeah.
There's no way to set it up.
I think there's a much better card to run than this slot. But
I like these sort of high rolling cards where you can get stock, but I think like the second effect has to be more like universally useful, where I would like actually want to sleeve up 4 of this.
I mean, I mean that's a pretty universally useful effect. I think it's just.
Well, I don't think you want to use it late game. You want to use it early game.
Yeah, at least for me, paying 2 stock to search something is like a little bit too steep. But...
Look, Carmen, sometimes you gotta find something.
Yeah, right, sure. But this is on death. Like, the card's gotta die, so if you gotta find something really bad, you gotta play over this.
I mean, on death is like, I think the preferred timing for this effect, because like it generates one of the stock that it need.
In the early game, where swinging this level 0-500 is like not a liability, right?
You could kind of look at it like it can generate both stock for its own effect in that sense.
Yeah.
Swing with it
The idea is that you play this first, and then you can, when your opponent smacks you to level 1 immediately because they Unga Bunga Tri-Field Slam 2 Soul, you hit the top check, it swung once, it dies, you pay 2, you search your third copy of your level 1 because you rip 2 off the top like a good player, and you triple combo your opponent in response. That's the idea.
Okay. I don't think you want to just be overplaying this to proc the effect, though.
No, you don't.
Especially if you're playing that Resonate package that's putting bricks in your hand, then you can't afford to just minus like that.
But that's exactly why I think I'd rather just play the Drop Search than play a card like this if I want to rip cards out of my deck.
If you're overplaying this, you might as well just be playing a Drop Search at that point.
Yeah.
I is so sick with the green event. You can sack it and pay 2, and you didn't know.
You can.
That's a cool interaction.
I have done that once. Only once. It was kind of cool. Alright, speaking of other kind of cool cards, let's move on to the next one here.
Yeah, we got eating a popsicle by the pool. When your other character's played from stage to waiting room, if this is in your back row, you can sack this. If you do, return that card to the field rested. So it's like sack this from the back row to encore, and you tap it to get 1500. That's pretty nice.
This card's on the ban list. Symphogear's not allowed to have this card. Kobayashi's allowed to have as many as once. It's not fair.
Dude, Kobayashi's got a bit of a dumpy.
I was just thinking that too, dude. That cheek is hanging out.
Jesus Christ.
I didn't notice.
She's an adult. It's fine.
She's of consenting age.
Tap give 15 is really good. Being able to save your on reverse combo when it gets run over, if you're playing the choice level 1's pretty good. Being able to save your early play later is pretty good, since your early plays are 10k. You tap to give this 15, then you sack save them, keep up your 2 soul beater. Card's pretty damn good.
Yeah, I like the attention to detail here. Are those natties? Like
yeah, those are natter days. Those are natter days over there. They have that gradient. That's
Kobayashi does love fucking getting wasted.
She does love getting wasted. Those are probably natter days. Knowing her. That's funny.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice that. They are exactly the natter days shading.
Yeah.
The one's the mango one and the other one's the normal flavor. That's hilarious.
They could be strong zeros.
Well, no, it's about the gradient, Ollie. You never seen a natter day, have you?
No.
No.
I'm not a
rating
alcoholic.
flamingo on it.
Well, here's what I gotta say to you all. I stop bragging. Alright, next card. We got this Kana. 1-0. When you play it, choose one of your other characters, and it gives it 2k, and then it is a stock bomb for cost zeros. This is the better pump that we were talking about. This card's actually really fucking good. This is like the Cosme Bomb from Bang Dream that a lot of decks play, but it doesn't have the top check. It's the same power line. Can only buff other though, can't buff itself.
It's a Shizu fucker. Doesn't get.
It is a Shizu fucker.
It is a Shizu fucker.
Climax,
yeah, it's always a Shizu fucker.
Under, yeah.
Always under 4K.
Always fuck Shizu. I like it.
The foil of this card is
Listen,
cool.
Man, we got a lot of slime at our locals. We got a lot of slimers. A lot of Shizus and
yeah, a lot of people sliming it up.
Yeah, they're always sliming.
Boys and girls.
Pittsburgh's one of the slimiest places you go.
You really gotta fuck those Shizus, you know?
Oh god. I was trying to talk about the card, and you guys are talking about fucking.
Alright, tell us about the foil. Tell us about this foil, come on.
It's cool because only the stars on his shirt and the text is foil. So, like pops nicely.
Wait,
okay. That's it depends how it depends
like,
how.
Okay, so you see like the onomatopoeia to like the left of her head.
Yes.
Like that's foil. Like the text boxes that she's talking in are foil, and like the stars are foil. It actually looks really nice. The foil of this card looks pretty good.
I'll take your word for it.
What's she saying? Is she talking about fucking Shizu?
Yeah, that's what she's saying.
I don't speak enough kanji to tell you what she's saying.
Yeah. Tag Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan would do. Alright, next. Ollie.
I got this 1-0 Toru. It is on play, gain 3k power, and then it bonds to the Kobayashi Brainstorm. It's like okay.
I wish this did anything else other than be like an off-level one. Like any other utility effect. Any other utility effect. So that this card would be worth playing.
I wish this card was Azusa, then it would be good.
Well, because that's what that...
Oh, dude, if it was the Tokyo Revengers card?
Well, dude, unironically, this set needed that kind of, like, cracked utility card that also bonded to this thing to make this, like, not cringe. Because you needed a way to run functional additional copies of this Kobayashi Brainstorm without actually running extra copies of it. And it could not deliver.
I mean, you do have that. It's just not very good.
Yeah, it's just not good.
I'm surprised you didn't run this card, Carmen.
I tried it.
Oh, you did?
Oh, yeah, I sleeved this.
As a one-of.
I was pretty fucking desperate before I cut the Resonate stuff.
It's cute. I like the art.
Yeah, art's good.
She got the witch hat.
Yeah, she's reading.
Someone call Nico. And she's reading.
He does like the witch hat.
Studying magic.
It's the funny
part.
part.
It's not possible for her to fit her horn into that hat. She's two horns.
You don't know that.
Look, dude.
Is that what you're saying?
This is already the horniest set review that we've done yet.
Look at that. How there's one horn hole with two horns.
Horn hole.
Horn hole.
Custom.
Well, no. You just plug them in the other way, right? Like from the top.
True. You just take them out.
Take them out, plug them back in. Yeah,
that is something they feel like that would happen in the show.
In the show, yeah, you unscrew the horns and
she
screw them back in.
Tail off and it grows back.
Yeah, she tries to serve it to Kobayashi like every day or something, right? It's like the recurring bit.
Yeah, that's
my God, we didn't get any card of the tail, huh? That's weird.
We did not. That's
okay. Wait, we didn't?
Bit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we didn't. That's like
that would have been like
bit.
a really good card, like Saka Kobayashi to do something.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Alright, next card.
Oh,
it's funny.
Who is this?
Not in like the.
It's Paru, yeah.
The haha funny.
Yeah, it's like haha funny. It's a brainstorm. Pay 1. No rest. What's that all about? Flip 4 for each character, or for each climax. Salvage a character.
This card's missing a line of text.
It is
Spammable plussing brainstorm.
Yeah, this card broke standard format.
This card did break standard format.
Anything you can say about Kobayashi?
Kobayashi ruined standard format.
It all got banned from standard, yeah.
It lit a fire under Bushiroad's ass because Kobayashi actually like destroyed standard and turned it into like the most like degenerate like FTK shit ever.
More degenerate than it already was.
Yeah, it went from like being a dumb format no one talked about to being like a Yu-Gi-Oh format, like really fast.
Dude, they actually updated.
So is this card any good outside of the meme format?
I'll come in and say yes. in specifically the 8 choice builds, this card is a great way to pay down 2 stock if you trigger 2 choice in a turn. Because it mills your deck to get you to the next deck, and once it's on the board, it's really fucking broken in the mid to late game. So when you have to pay out multiple climaxes, it is a great way to not only add extra soul triggers to your deck, but also give you a way to pay out multiple climaxes while milling your deck and plussing your hand. I'm a big fan.
Here too. Is there standby in this set? This seems like a decent.
No, there's standby from hand. We'll get to that.
I think that this is also good.
That also broke standard. Yeah.
I think this is also good if you play the door finisher because that combo package specifically eats a lot of hand, but now stock.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
You can use that stock with this to facilitate that combo.
Mm-hmm. That is something you could do.
Given that they're both Kanas, you were probably intended to be
doing that, yeah. Alright. More Kanas. Back to Andy.
Yeah, here's another Kana talking about Shizu again.
No.
The character in the front row center gets plus a soul. So it gives a soul to your center. That's kind of cool. And then when you play from hand to stage, you can pay 1, ditch 1. And this is the drop searcher that Carmen was talking about.
Yup. This card's great. It's a drop searcher that doesn't suck if you have to play it to the back row. So like you're not punished for like searching a 3rd copy of your combo. It's pretty cool.
Big deep. Actually, you know what? Compared to like something like a Invincible Hero Kokoro or something like that, the fact that this can work from the back row means you can. If this just sits in your back row, you just get an extra soul every turn for free.
Yes.
You can think of it that way too.
And you get so if you play it to search, right, and it sits in the back row, gives a soul that turn. The turn that you shove it up, it also gives a soul. So more often than not, this is 2 turns of plus 1 soul.
What's the conversion of soul to pluses?
That's half a plus.
A soul is half a plus.
So this card is a plussing drop search if you play it to the back row.
Okay, dude.
Depending how much
That's
hand
Dean
you
math.
have at the end of the game, you could set up some nasty side attacks with this. You could like
yes, you can.
Drop search.
Yeah.
This is part of the modularity package, dude. Like this is part of it. You can do some nasty stuff with the Kobayashi call a number, and this card.
Dude, what happens when you try field this and slam the 2 soul?
Your opponent dies.
They die.
Your middle lane just has so much soul.
Well, Kimono Friends did that, and in my experience, your opponent would just go cancel in 3.
Okay, but they're.
But then your dolphins would pop back to hand, right? Right.
They do, and then because you didn't mill your deck, because your climax combo relies on your opponent eating the damage. You just take the 14.
But even then, you have all your dolphins.
The extra soul really. I don't think it's like a meme. Like I think it's.
It's good. It's really good.
It's actually good.
Yeah, this card's really fucking good.
Tap counter and all that. Everyone has tap counters and shit nowadays.
Yeah, this card's really fucking good. Best utility card in the set, probably. It's up there. All right. We got this Kana, level 0. When played from hand to stage, at the beginning of your main phase, choose one of the following 2 abilities. In this case, that ability for the turn. During your turn, if you have another character, this gets 3,000 power. Or you can rest this, choose one of your characters, give it 1,500 power for the turn. It also has Climax combo. Choose a wind in your Climax zone and sack it. At the beginning of your Encore step, you may do that, and if you do, salvage a character. This is one of these back row level 0 cards where they sit in your back row, and every turn you play the Climax, you get 1+. No matter how many of this card you have, no matter how many Climaxes you play throughout the game, no matter how many turns you play it, you will only get 1+. These cards suck. They are so bad.
I think you gotta have an open climax to play
They're
with.
specifically good
Andy,
in the climax combos with something else.
How many times have we had this argument with these cards where you go, well, you gotta have the open climax, you gotta have this, you gotta have that. I watched you play the version of 7 Deadly Sins with the bar version of this card where we had the original argument and the Elaine door and the Bond, and you were like, damn, this card sucks. When you were playing it, and I was like, damn, I told you, it sucks. Because you only ever get 1, and you have to play 3 or 4 of this card. So you play 3 or 4 of your Climax combo, and you only ever get 1 card. This card's even worse because you only get it on the turn you play it.
Oh.
Okay, but they had a double combo.
Exactly.
I did. Okay, I did say that before, but I'm reading it again, and it's starting to look good to me again.
It does every time.
The more he reads it.
They hated him. They hated him because he spoke the truth. They never
tap 15. Andy, we already saw a better tap 15.
learn from Andy's mistakes. No,
No, there's not.
No.
If this had another climax combo, it could have been okay, but it does not.
I think if you would need to have like a double combo somewhere to be able to accommodate
I agree.
that, but probably not.
it's also a bad trigger. I'm just gonna throw that out
It's
there.
not bad.
You
No,
could have
it's
dealt.
not
You
bad.
could have dealt with it if it meant getting like.
I'm not giving it
Pluses
an
up
F.
the
Fuck
ass.
you. I'm giving it a D.
Win sucks, dude.
You
It's
suck,
called
dude.
Return.
As someone that
Okay, shut up, dude.
As someone that played an 8-win deck in a tournament recently, win sucks.
Okay, well maybe you just suck. Next card.
Next turn.
You're right.
Ollie, go ahead.
Okay, we got this Kobayashi. Wow, the contrast of art is so weird. Looking at these two cards next to each other. We got this Kobayashi. Discard a human or dragon character to the waiting room. On play, if all your characters are human or dragon, you pay cost. If you do, search for a character with resonance or the brainstorm, and add to your hand. And discard a character and sack this to salvage a human or dragon.
Okay, Carmen. Here's your filter card to get that resonator.
Oh yeah. It's fine. This card is good. Problem being, it's a neg one, and I don't think you can afford to take the neg ones because you don't hold board. Like,
Right, and also like we already established that you're playing with a smaller hand size.
yeah. Like a filter where you have to neg one is bad when you're already playing on a lower card hand. So
You're only
it's
negative one for
great.
the second effect. You can do
Okay, but that's the effect that matters, I think. Because after you have your first brainstorm, this card becomes pretty dead, right? Because
I don't know. Are there any other cards with resonance in the deck? Like, aren't the level 3?
Not in the
level
deck.
3s have a resonance keyword too, like the ones that work with the card.
No.
The resonator.
Well, yeah.
the early
search
play,
the
the
level
early
3.
play. You can search the early play, yeah.
There are exactly.
And I believe
3
you can
resonate
search.
cards in the whole set.
You can search the next card, I believe,
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
So the keyword is on both the resonator and the resonatey.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay. You
Um,
might get either half of it.
this card is definitely good. It does make. I think without this card, it would be really hard to play that stuff. And combined with a specific tap 2 brainstorm in the set that's pretty good, this has the potential to it has the potential to refill your hand by being a card you can tap down if you're playing multiple of it, to like rip early plays out of your deck, so like you always have the early plays and stuff like that. There are some cute plays you can do with it without expending a board slot, kind of how 8 Standby Quince uses the Ichika Brainstorm, because it like doesn't need a board slot and they can tap down 2 and then pop itself, stuff like that. But it's just not enough. It's not enough for that deck. The fact that once you have the Brainstorm, you can't ever ditch the Brainstorm, which means you can't filter it out to use for this card, and you're playing on a lower hand. I mean, the fact that you take a neg one's like really, really rough. Like, this card reads amazing. Like, you're like, oh, all the problems with the Resonate deck fixed. Like, trust me. Go play the deck with the Resonate stuff. You will see exactly what I mean. Like, very quickly. It becomes really, really hard to use these effects after you have your one Brainstorm down and your one Resonate one in your hand. After that, this card's like, oh my god, why is this card in my deck? It doesn't do anything. Kind of unfortunate.
I do really hate that second effect, like usually on cards.
I usually love it in the decks that can support it.
Second effect is great, to be honest.
So, we were pretty doomer on the set by the time that this card got shown off, like during like the Japanese card of the day. And then we saw this card, and it's like, whoa, this is insane. I bet they're gonna get some like other sick resonance cards, and we're just gonna be popping off searching for free resonance cards all game. And then they didn't.
Well, they did get one Paru. Let's look at the next card.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's got good art.
Whose card is this?
It's Paru's.
Paru's.
Wait, no, it's
Forgot
not.
about this effect.
Wait, whose?
Who's this?
This is me. This is me. This is me. If you have the brainstorm on your stage, she gets 2k, so she's a 104k. When she attacks, choose one of your characters, and they gain 1500 power and hexproof cross turn. That effect isn't too bad. And then you can resonate the brainstorm to start of climax phase, draw drop. It's a lot of effects for an uncommon.
It's actually like
It's fine.
it's like okay.
But like, you're not playing this card.
It ends up doing like a lot of fucking nothing.
Probably you would probably really need to want that second effect.
Yeah, the hexproof.
Yeah, you're playing it for the second effect of anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't like it. Didn't work out. Did sleeve. Did not like.
Oh, I never fucking even bothered.
Dude,
The
I
art's really sick. Is there a
Art's
foil
cool.
for this?
I think
might be
so.
much
I think there's a Maid Dragon rare of this card. There is a like special rarity for the set called MDR.
Well, yeah, this set doesn't have regular rarities. It has
Mhm.
SSP, OFR, and MDR.
Yeah. So I'm pretty
So
sure there's
all you
an
people
MDR.
looking for SPs, they don't exist.
Only SSPs.
They don't exist. They're imaginary.
Sorry, the thing you like isn't real.
Rip. The thing I like. No, it's gone.
This card does not come foil.
It doesn't?
Does
That's
not
sad.
come foil.
No, unfortunate. Art is good.
Yep.
Alright, next.
Cool. God damn, another Kana talking about Shizu again. Can't keep the name out of her
It's
mouth.
talking about fucking cheesy, dude.
Every time. This plays from hand to stage. Look at top 2 of your deck and rearrange them. When you play this from hand to stage, you can pay 1, ditch 1. If you do, choose one of your opponent's characters and move it. And give this 1000 power.
It's F for funny.
It's a grappling hook.
Pay 1, ditch 1 grappling hook's pretty funny.
It's a cheaper. I think this is like actually one of the better grappling hook profiles.
Yeah, isn't it usually more expensive than that?
Okay, fine.
It's usually pay 2. Yeah, I think it's fine. It's probably okay. But the problem is you don't win on defense a lot with this set. So you don't have a lot of opportunities to use it.
You don't have stuff to drag up. You don't have slots to drag up to.
Yeah, you usually lose your board every turn with Kobayashi. But maybe.
This card has a really good foil.
1-0 Toru. On attack, 500 times your other board, so Shimakai plus 2k. And then,
no,
this
it's not a
gains, this
Shimakai.
kinds. It's not a Shimakai. It gains 500 times other, so it's 6/5 on attack. Sorry. And then when it dies, you can pay 2 salvage. That's fine.
It's like okay, but
It's like whatever.
it'd be better if it was a Shimakai.
Yeah, it'd be a lot better if it was a Shimakai, but this is fine.
This card comes foil. She's got the eggs.
This is also pretty decent art.
You always talk about eggs. You come on here, you talk about eggs.
What? What do you mean? I've never mentioned eggs once on this channel.
Alright. Ollie, go ahead.
Paru and eggs. Name a more iconic duo. We got Toru cooking up a storm.
The official name, yeah.
Nice. It's a 3k counter and it's a memory kick counter.
Memory kick pretty good.
Yeah.
I get some tail meat in that, and fry some bacon too.
Yeah. I wish he was doing the salt pose.
If you have your early play and you have an assist behind it, you can probably win board with this card.
Yep.
Yeah.
Memory
That's
kick's
like-
pretty good.
Something. Yeah.
3k's a lot of power. We love 3k.
Paru, your card.
We got the skinniest Toru.
It's so
In the set.
dude. You fucking like swapped between these cards. It's like what happened?
Oh yeah, she loses all her thickness in between these cards.
Look at that tail.
play-
That's a thin tail. Yeah.
On play pump 15. On attack pump 15. It's okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
Pumps
A lot of
15
pump
twice.
15.
Oh, this
Yeah.
card's good. This profile's good. I think you have better power pumps playing this set, but this profile specifically is pretty good.
Yeah, I wouldn't play it in this set, but it's like usually fine.
I'm curious what's happening in this scene. Why she's so thin.
She's saying,
Yeah,
Kobayashi-san, beer, something. Oh, I'm gonna buy beer. Go buy beer? I'm going to buy beer.
Nice! That's me every day. Next card.
Carmen's like, yo, she's me for real.
Yep. Whose card is this? Back to Andy. Go ahead.
Oh my god, she's gonna jump. She's on the roof.
Jesus Christ.
All your other characters, it's okay, she can fly. All your other characters, humans or dragons, get 500 power, and rest of this choose a card in your level and a character in your waiting room.
This is pretty irredeemably bad.
This is like useless. This is like a useless card. Yeah, absolutely useless card. There's no experience.
Yeah.
Or there is experience, but it's like not.
But it's so easy that
it's not specific experience. I think they just print one of these in every set that has experience, no matter how easy it is to hit. That's like their current track.
Well, that's fine, but like that doesn't mean it's good.
I got this Toru.
Hey, she's naked.
She is naked. Her
when this
cooter's
direct.
just
Come on,
she's
guy.
drinking the
Come
Kool-Aid.
on. When this direct attacks, choose one of your other characters and gets a soul. At the start of your opponent's draw phase, reveal top card. If it's level 1 or higher, return this to your hand. Oh my god, it's a soul pump coin flip. It's infinite soul. It's infinite value. Infinite. Infinite value.
It's like fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Thompson,
what the fuck?
Again, another instance.
What
of
the
pumping
fuck are you
another
doing,
character's
Oliver?
soul.
Like, why would you ever play this as your plussing 0 when you have like the blue one?
What are you doing?
The blue one, and
What
you
are
have
you
the
fucking typing?
runner. What the fuck are you doing? Jesus Christ!
It is a small text box, sir.
Holy Christ! Here, Oliver, I got you. I got you.
I tried to be.
Seems like a pretty good card.
Had myself
Why only C?
out.
This seems like it'd be totally playable.
Because you have the center runner.
Yeah, why would you play this on the center runner?
Play both. I don't know.
But Andy, you don't just have slots for infinite like useless zeros.
Yeah.
It doesn't scale very well. Alright, because it has to direct attack.
Oh yeah, it is direct.
Yeah, it's direct attack, so it doesn't scale as well. But it's like fine in the early game, sure, yeah.
This might as well be a vanilla, right?
Yeah.
How do we rate this? It's like a spammable salvage. Great.
Oh no, this card's important.
Okay.
Spammable salvage. You don't have a lot of ways to access your grave if you play the Fafnir search. The spammables, like one of this and one of the 2/1 Kana, are like invaluable tools if you play the Fafnir. Because and you get to play this really funny art of Kana just like feasting on the bread.
Yeah, she's chowing down. That's all. That's her stock.
I'm gonna give it the free plus because I'm gonna give it the C plus also because I was talking about this with Brandon a lot too when we were brewing the set. Kobayashi doesn't have good stockouts at 0 because it doesn't have like a Ricky profile. The Ricky profile that it has is costless. We'll get into that when we like eventually get to blue. But because you don't have that, you don't have like a good stockout, and you don't want to like mash brainstorm like too hard. But like this is fine because it accesses a zone you don't have if you play the rest 2 Fafnir. So pretty good. Okay, we're finally to this card. This card's a fucking common.
Yeah.
It's a
me.
common.
Ollie, yeah, Ollie, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, we got the really nice 2/1 with the really nice climax art. When your other human or dragon character attacks, declare a number equal or less than the number of markers under this card. And for the turn, it gains 1,000 power and X soul, X equal to the declared number. And then climax combo with the, I think that's a stock soul? I don't actually remember.
It's a stock soul.
Yeah, stock
pay
soul.
1, put the climax in your waiting room, beginning of the attack phase. If you have 4 or more other characters with human and dragon, pay cost. If you do, look at up to 3 on the top of your deck, choose up to 3, and add them to your hand. Put them in your hand, put the remaining cards in your waiting room, put up to 1 card from the top of your deck under this as a marker.
Face up.
Face up.
So, the first turn that you play this card down, you do legally have to say 0 every time you attack. It is not optional. You have to say 0.
You cannot declare a negative
Well,
number.
no, it's the beginning of your attack phase.
Oh my
So
god.
you can get a marker right away.
Oh shit! Andy's right. I'm dumb.
Yeah.
Andy's fucking smartest.
Paru.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I thought it was Start of Encore.
There's a really sad part about this card, and that is it's not on one of the choices that you would normally play.
Yeah, man. If this was like a double combo,
I
Is this
really
the one that
wanted
goes
this
with
to
the
be on the.
brainstorm?
it is
Yes.
the card that makes your Brainstorm a global 1K.
Yeah, I really wish this was on the same choice as the finisher.
I did play
even think-
six choice 2 stock soul for quite a while. This card's just it's not good enough. It's not good enough. Even with all this text, even with all this stuff, it's not good enough to run this bad trigger for like a combo you need to recur starting at 2, because like the first turn of this is pretty middling. The second turn of this is really good. Like every turn after it has 2 markers, right? Because you can start like setting up really nasty sides, doing really gross stuff. But like, it's not a card you want to play 4 of. It's not a card you want to play 4 of its climax. You don't have good climax assurance in Kobayashi that doesn't require you to extend hand. We already talked about when you're playing the resonate stuff that you'd want to play this with. You have trouble sculpting because you're playing on a 6-card hand. Everything's stacked against using this card.
You don't get that 1,000 power on the Brainstormer too if you're not playing this card. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's kind of like pushing you into this weird climax split.
I want to know what like the design philosophy was behind this package.
I don't know why it's not on the same climax as the other one.
Yeah, like
You wanna know what it is?
If
It's
it was,
like-
all on the level 3 choice. It would be kind of cool, and it would
Yeah.
make sense because then they're trying, they're trying to tunnel you into this like Kobayashi Toru OTP deck.
Dude, this is the fucking like cover card.
This is the cover card. Why is this a common? That's like a weird choice. Everything about this card is weird, and it's not even good to make up for it.
Yeah, it's like it's just not enough. Like it's just not good enough. Like
No.
it needed to be on a climax you were already playing.
Yeah.
This is not enough.
Well, I mean, I guess you do have like some decent climax searching, right? You could like run that.
You
effect
do, but it
get into it,
expends
but-
your hand, and you can't sculpt for it. You can get your climax swapper, like that's a character, and that's it, and that's not enough to like recur this card. And recurring this card is what would make it strong, right? Like the first turn of this, we can agree is pretty middling, right? Like it's
Pretty shitty
after.
that random
Yeah.
blinks just like turn it off too.
Yeah, random blinks also fuck this card.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
It's just it could have been so much better.
I'm sad because I agree. This could have been cool.
Yeah, it could have been a
fucked it
reason to
up.
play Kobayashi. And it's like, no, we just made it bad. Like, sorry, this one's a stinker. We made this one the bad card.
Yeah, we trained.
Our
him.
apologies. Yeah, it's like
like
how
the-
did they should have seen that DreamWorks movie, dude.
It's like the
How to
sound
Train Your
bite from
Dragon.
from the Sorry board game commercial.
Got him.
Sorry.
It's
Sorry.
pronounced sorry. It's pronounced sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry. It's got
Sorry.
good art too.
The
Yeah.
next card sucks. Well,
Alright.
kind of.
Next card. Whose card is this? Paru, right?
This is Pyro, yes.
When this card is placed from hand to the stage, if there are 5 or fewer cards in stock, mill 2. If there's a climax, reveal 2 cards of your deck. Your opponent chooses a character or an event to put in your hand, and the other card goes to waiting room. When this card becomes reversed, it is a stock bomb for characters higher level than your opponent's level.
Wow.
Potentially pluses for you. I like,
I hate mandatory mill 2s.
I like
hate
pluses.
I hate them so much.
I like stock bomb.
The
I like-
There's a way
the
cooler-
dichotomy
there's a
of
way
man.
Card like this later.
The dichotomy of man.
Yeah, I hate it.
I like the plus. I hate the mill too.
You'd only ever play this card because it's a yellow anti-change bomb.
Yeah, it's a yellow anti-change bomb with extra text, but like it's probably okay.
It's actually a mandatory mill 4.
It is a mandatory mill 4 if you hit. Oh my god, that could just fuck you. That could just like destroy your entire game.
That's pretty bad.
That sucks.
That's pretty bad.
Okay, it's playable for
phase,
being a
man.
bomb.
At least it's main phase mill, so you can like react to it.
That is true.
Dude, the set is not like stable enough to be like, okay. I ran out of all my climaxes. And I got 20 cards left in my deck.
That's what the spammable's for. That's why you have the spammable Kana. That's why she eats the bread. She eats the bread like she eats your deck. You just feed her your deck.
If this happened, right, it means that there were 5 or few cards in your stock.
I mean, well, we can assume we have 5. You can process 16 cards.
If you sacrifice like 3 or 4 stock to the Kana, like Elder God, you have nothing.
Think of it, dude. You pay 4
lay
stock.
down a stock bomb. You're like, I just want to clear my opponent's like fucking Rushi.
Yeah, and you.
And all of a sudden, you're obligated to spend your entire stock.
Well, yeah. Think of it. You probably have like 1 climax, and then you get like 1 salvage for 4 stock. That's value.
Oh, maybe you have a climax in there. Only if it's a bad trigger, though.
Only it's a bad trigger. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I think it's bad.
All right. Last fucking card.
This card's good.
Andy, go ahead.
Okay, who's that girl on the top?
I don't know.
I can't remember her
I
name.
don't actually know.
She's like the maid otaku. One of the maid otaku that she knows.
Whatever. 3-2. Opponent puts all their stock in the waiting room. Send another card from the library to stock. You choose a character in your waiting room.
Oh, this card's sick.
Stock swap salvage.
Yeah.
Be really sick if it was a level sooner and it could cost like 1 more stock and it'd be super sick.
And if it had Remy from Ratatouille on it.
Yeah. Wait. Is that what that card is actually?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a 2/3. It's a 2/3, but it's level 2. Oh.
Ratatouille.
They flipped the numbers.
It's the exact same thing you just said. Wait, are you fucking with me right now?
No, I'm not. I'm not fucking with you, really. It's the
2/3. It's the 2/3 like stock swap salvage one.
I love when the rat cooking the food.
Hey, Ratatouille is actually an excellent movie. Shoutouts to Ratatouille.
That looks like my unpopular opinion. I think Ratatouille was a stupid movie. I think it's like the dumbest Pixar movie.
Ratatouille is really good.
Ratatouille is my favorite mech anime. What?
If you talk about Ratatouille with like Disney otaku, they're gonna tell you that shit bangs. 10 out of 10.
Ratatouille's pretty good.
Yeah.
I like when he took a bite.
Like at the end of the movie, everyone's like, "Oh."
He took a bite of the food and he was like, my mama, the Ratatouille.
Yeah, the rat can stay in the kitchen. That's fine. We don't have to shut them down because he's such a good cook. You know, like
He's a good rat.
Him and his whole family.
He's a good boy.
Oh my god, I cannot
He's a good
take
boy.
this Remy slander. Just write the card, Andy.
Card's good.
Yeah.
I'll watch it with you all.
We'll watch it right now. We're Ratatouille watch party right now. Yeah,
the set review's over.
Set review's over.
Here's over. Here's
Movie
the
review now.
Yeah, it's just like this is. You can get away with that, right? It's like hidden Ratatouille like live stream, guerrilla live stream. Like, there's no way Disney would find that. Just hidden in the Weiss Schwarz.
You just
back end of YouTube.
Make the title green set review, and it's just the Ratatouille movie.
Yeah, it's just Ratatouille. And then there's Green Part 2, and that's the actual movie. Well, I guess you'll find out tomorrow. Because we're see you guys in the next color.